who you serve, and why. And before you do that, folks, we do have a little bit of an echo somewhere. So um, please make sure your echo cancellation is on. So, Jeff, please take it away. Tell us your
Absolutely. Thank
story.
you for that, Regina. Appreciate that. And so, yeah, my name is Jeff Badu. I'm a licensed certified public accountant. I was born and raised in Ghana and ultimately came to the US when I was 8 years old. And fast forward, I basically attended the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and then eventually started my own CPA firm. So that led me to becoming a wealth multiplier and a parallel entrepreneur. And so I'm the founder and CEO of Badu Enterprises LLC, which is a multinational conglomerate in the finance industry. And what we do is we provide a suite of financial services, including our marketing company, which is Badu Tax Services. And that's the firm that provides tax preparation, tax planning, and tax representation services to individuals and businesses across all 50 states in the US. And we also have clients that are physically based in over 25 countries at the moment. That company eventually morphed into other companies, including our real estate investment company, Badu Investments, and then our nonprofit, the Badu Foundation, that teaches financial literacy. Lastly, my purpose in life is to inspire and support the super hungry to take hold of infinite resources in order to create an abundant lifestyle. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that,
I
Regina.
love that. I love that. And what a reach you have. My goodness. And in 25 countries. And I love your nonprofit for financial literacy. We all need that. Something we definitely don't teach enough of in this country and maybe worldwide. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but definitely here we don't teach enough about financial literacy. So, Jeff, you have brought with you today some panelists, and I would love for you to introduce each of them independently, have them tell a bit about their journey, who they serve, and why.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Regina. And real quick, Josh, I think the noise cancellation, let's get that activated whenever you get a chance. But nonetheless, I'll go ahead and start with Alex. So we have Alex Pastrana in the building. We actually have another event that's coming up in just a few hours or so. And so Alex, I've had a chance to know him for a few years or so. He's the president and CEO of Serene Financial Group. And so I'll go ahead and let Alex do the justice of introducing himself. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jeff, and great to meet everybody here as well, and everybody out there. I recently left my previous firm. I'm decided to go independently. I'm insurance licensed as a broker for now, but I decided to open up Serene Financial Group. Couple reasons. We focus on first and second generation successful families and business entrepreneurial families really just navigate the world of financial planning, and then of course starting with the risk management insurance first. My story is I was a first and or second generation immigrant coming from first generation immigrant families from Mexico. They work hard working, achieving the American dream, buying real estate property, but I always felt there was something missing in our family tree because I looked around at the United States of America, and I said, wow, how do we multiply wealth? How do we achieve that wealth, generational wealth? And I just always felt there was something missing. So many years ago, I decided to embark on that journey of financial resources and independence, and also just figuring out what that world was. And decided to say, hey, I want to just really do this on my own, give back to my community. Also, just have autonomy in terms of how I could serve my clients, but also navigate, legacy planning. So we focus a lot on once we build it, how do we protect it?
Oh, we lost your sound, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Alex for a second.
Yep.
All right, so let's maybe go to Justin. We got Justin Carolyn, known him for a long time. He's actually my property and casualty insurance agent on quite a few properties that we have. And so Justin is a vice president at 235 Insurance, and I'll let Justin introduce himself.
Hey, good morning, everyone. As Jeff mentioned, I'm with 235 Insurance. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and slowly made my way up to Chicago over time. I think what gives us a unique segment in the market that we serve is that, I grew up in real estate at a young age. Both my grandfathers built homes. My dad was a painter. My uncles were electricians and bricklayers, and so I was in the construction industry at a very young age. And I think as I was growing up, I always knew I wanted to own real estate. But as most people know, you have to have some type of capital to be able to invest and buy real estate, especially in a city like Chicago. And so I got into insurance to be able to serve those people that are trying to buy properties, that own small businesses, that are really trying to grow and really create the American dream for themselves. But alongside them, I'm also buying real estate and rehabbing homes and trying to grow my own portfolio. So it allows me to collaborate with them on their insurance needs. Let's be honest, insurance is never fun to buy for anyone, but it's a necessary evil. And so I think having someone that can sit on your side of the table and be able to put themselves in your shoes when talking to an insurance carrier goes a long way. And so I think that's why we've been really unique in the market is, I've got 2 properties I'm flipping right now. We manage 25 Airbnbs, and I've been very lucky to put together a team that is just phenomenal and cares about our customers just as much as I do. And so that's really who we are and how we've gotten to the place where we're at. I think my mission is to continue to educate other people that are just like me, that came from middle of nowhere with not a lot of money, that are just trying to better themselves. And so we put a lot of time and effort into just helping people any way we can, whether that be insurance or just hopping on an hour phone call to say, hey, here's what I would do if it was me, whether there's any insurance related questions or not. So thank you.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Justin. Appreciate that beautiful intro. And yeah, I've known Justin for quite some time, and he's definitely helped me a lot with the property casualty, those types of insurance needs, and helped out, a few of our clients as well. So definitely thank you for that, Justin. I see Alex is coming back, but let's go to Josh, Mr. Josh Burngard. And yeah, I've known Josh for probably the longest out of anybody else on this segment today. And I can tell you, Josh is one of the most dedicated real estate brokers, real estate agents that I've come across. He's very dedicated. He's very committed to what he does. And so I'll let, Josh introduce himself. He's the owner and CEO of Buzzard Real Estate. And so, Josh, I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
You're
All
muted,
right,
Josh.
Yeah, it looks like you're muted, Josh. There we go. Let's hit the unmute button.
First the echo, now the mute. Let me tell you what you didn't hear. Thank you for the warm introduction. I appreciate it and the opportunity of being here. So started off my world in lending, actually, in the heyday of 2002, all the way through the crash. And I learned a lot, honestly, about the world and about stated loans and incomes and all that. Long story short, when the crash happened, a buddy of mine opened up a free apartment finding service, which is not normal in most other states, but in like 3 major cities, us being one of them. And I kind of just fell in love, helping people out. I mean, at the time, I won't lie, I was in my 20s. Sometimes I was just rollerblading to showings, and I would take them off, put my sandals on, do a showing, go back, and just go on. And I kind of fell in love with the opportunity of just helping people. From there, it morphed into me opening up Buzzard by myself, for myself, and it was a free apartment finding service. I was in my 20s. If anyone knows anything about real estate, in the 20s, there's very few and far between any of us can actually buy anything, as we just discussed earlier from Justin. He's giving me the wave, that you need capital in order to put down. And at that time when you're right fresh out of school, a lot of things we don't think about is, oh, let's save, right? Let's enjoy. So for first 5 years of our business, all we did was rentals, and I was able to grow the company, and still to this day, 52 agents, and now we're at 302 with 4 office strong. So really proud about that. And so still have a huge part of this rental side, but what we realized that the renters of today were the buyers of tomorrow. And so just helping these individuals take the money they were putting down for either a deposit and or opening up their eyes to saying, hey, you don't have to pay someone else's mortgage. You could pay your own. I mean, one of the things that I love to say is I like to match people with properties for prosperity, which is obviously the whole accumulation of what we're talking about here from everyone in this room, talking about wealth multipliers to help you get to your future so you don't have to be, man, what did I do with all my money? Where did it go? So that's in essence, we help people buy, we help people invest, we help people rent, and we help landlords manage their property so they can keep accumulating. And there's a little bit of education there. The idea is that once you own one property, if you work the system correctly, the government will help you buy another one. You just have to leverage one over the other, and you can keep going after it. So that is my main story up to date, and we are still growing, still helping, and here to aid if I can.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Josh. And Alex, I think I know we lost you for a second, and so let's maybe go back to you. Anything that you want to wrap up the intro with?
No, just like I said, here to serve my community and then meet great people like you guys. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. Nice and sweet. Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Alex. And I'll pass it back to Regina to take this on.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that I believe I heard here is really a desire to help the people, right? And a lot of times that comes down to family businesses or just families that are, with the real estate investment, that kind of a thing. But what advice would you give to those families who are wanting to grow their prosperity, their abundance, their future, their legacy? What advice would you give them about collaboration and how partnering and collaborating with others can get them to those goals faster? And feel
Absolutely.
free, if you've got a comment, feel free to pop in with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I'll go first, and I'll just share in the realms of real estate investing. And so
Okay.
I would say for me, one of the biggest mistakes I made in real estate was investing by myself. In that, basically through collaboration with investors. Now, of course, you have to build a reputation. You have to build your name, your brand, so people can trust you. Give them the money, give you the money, and everything like that. But nonetheless, I bought apartment buildings, right? These large complexes, basically solo. And I found that to be a big mistake. And what I should have done was reached out to investors. We have a tax firm that has over 3,000 plus clients, within our database, and said, hey, let's partner together. You're interested in real estate. They trust me. I'm the trusted advisor. And so with that being said, say, hey, we have this investment. Here's what the numbers look like. Here's how much capital we need. Let's use that capital as a down payment. And then let's go to a lender and get at least 75% of the money, the financing. And so the 25%, basically covers the equity portion of the deal. And then 75% covers the loan portion, the debt portion of the deal. And what do I do with my funds? Keep it on the side for reserves, right? The thing I learned about reserves, where if things go bad, and sometimes they do, then I can step in and basically bail out the investment, right? Or maybe there's a time where it may be best to do a minor renovation or large renovation. I can step in with that capital and keep the building improved, keep it going, and not just be in survival mode with the building, but also be in thrive, abundance mode. So when it comes to collaboration, I would say for me, biggest lesson I learned, as it relates to that is have investors, right? Have investors, and then ultimately your capital as the asset manager, use your capital as the reserves, as the quote unquote bailout money if ever needed.
And just a follow-up question on that, and then we'll go to some of the others, but how do they go about finding those investors?
Yeah, I mean, tap into your network. Is the people, right? Exactly. People to your left, people to your right, your neighbors. It's Josh, right? It's so many people. And so, I mean, truly, there's a network. And for me, like my situation is different because I'm the client CPA, right?
Right.
They have trust. They have a certain level of trust in a CPA. They have I have a certain level of influence in that. If you don't have such an influence, yeah, you can still network. You do have to build a reputation. So maybe you have to start off with your first on your own or your second on your own.
Right.
But for me, the mistake that I made was the third, the fourth, the fifth, right? Doing it solo. All about the net worth game and all about the asset accumulation game rather than let's play a really smart game and let's really build with other people game. That's the game I should have been playing in the beginning.
Excellent. Who else would
I'll
like to
piggyback.
contribute? Joshua.
I would, yeah. So me and him have a very similar story. But I would tell you, for those that are, I want to do this, right? They're on podcasts, they're on YouTube, they're trying to figure out where to go. The first thing I would say is giver's gain. It's how I live my life. If I'm going to give to you, I'm going to educate you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to gain, because it's just the way it works. You throw enough good out into the world, you're going to get it back. So obviously go out there, be humble, understand that you don't know anything or you know a little bit about a lot, right? The idea is keep asking questions. People will appreciate if they have the right mindset, and if they don't, forget it, right? One of these things that in my industry, I can ask certain people in my office, or people will come to ask me questions. And those that want to hold things close to their chest because they believe it can't be duplicated or doing something that no one else in the world has ever thought of, those are not the individuals you want to be around, because they're not going to give to you. They're going to maybe hold back something. They'll give you enough for you to get started, but then the ball's going to drop because you won't have the information you need. So giver's gain, try to find that world. Obviously, you're giving all of our information here, so whoever's watching this, call one of us, all of us, we'll be able to help you. And then if you're starting off, one of the things you want to do, like if you want to get, if you're really trying to start off, the best thing you could possibly do, and I know that I have more opportunity, or we have more opportunity to do it than most because we're in Chicago or in major cities, do a multifamily. I call it house hacking. So what is that? The idea is you'll buy either a 2-unit, a 3-unit. You can even do a 4-unit if there's such thing. After 5 is commercial, so it's a different conversation, different lending, all of that. But so you live in 1 unit, and you let the other 2 people that are living there, if it's 2 flat or maybe just one other person, they're helping you pay your mortgage. And so from doing that, now you get a feel for, first of all, you get to know your building. You get to know what it looks like to be a landlord. Do you really want to do this? Because that's the other conversation. Some people are like, oh my goodness, right? This is not what I wanted to do. My wife being one of them. I'll give you a personal I statement here, right? When we bought our first building together, she wasn't gung-ho about it. She did jump in that deep water with me, but she didn't really want to be a landlord. However, going through, hey, listen, we're going to build our wealth. We're going to have something for retirement. There's other things you can do other than the stock market and Bitcoin and that kind of stuff. So with that being said, we own a few of them now. Now, with that being said, it helps because you're going to learn real quick. And then if you need to unload, let's say this is not for you, you can unload the building, because now you have 1 unit. It's easier to sell. You can tell them everything about it. And the flip side is, if in fact you wanted to buy another one, if let's say you wanted to do another 3-flat, 2-flat, 4-flat, or even a single family, you can leverage off the equity that you've already built on one. And like I said, the government's going to help you. And I'm saying the government, a loan establishment, whatever you want to use, will say, okay, so you have all this equity in your building. Now let's get you the next one. And you can prove to someone that you're already experienced. So that would be how I started and how I would suggest. Because it's real hard if you buy like a single family studio condo by yourself, right? or even a small little home, if you want to invest after that fact, you got to put so much money down. Now you're crippling yourself, I think, in the investment game. You got to start off with the investment more than just one, like 4 walls, not a house.
Right.
It's got to be some sort of multi something so you can leverage off of it. I hope that
Very
helps.
good. Very good.
I,
Thank you.
I'll just
And Justin,
add,
yeah, Justin.
yeah, I did exactly that. So everything that Josh said is exactly what I've done. And I'd say most of us have done that. And it's just, it sounds like such a big obstacle in the beginning, but there's so many programs out there that even for a low down payment, like people always think you have to have a ton of money to be able to do this, and you really don't. Especially, I mean, obviously it depends on the neighborhood, the price of the multifamily building, but house hacking is the easiest way to get started. My wife and I started in 2020, February of 2020, which is a month before COVID hit. We bought our first building. We gut rehabbed it. It was way too big of a project for me to take on. Thankfully, I had some really good people around me. I'll say my team. They don't work for me. They don't work with me, but they are people that I trusted, that I reached out to numerous times when the project was not going well, when things were popping up, when I was learning how to be a landlord. And my wife was like, "We are never doing this again." And now she's like, "I want to quit my job. I want to do real estate full time. How do we do this?" So yeah, it's that exact process, and just like both Josh and Jeff said, if you're listening to this, all of us are willing to hop on a call at any point and just being humble and saying, "Look, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just getting started." Or, I've read this and I just have some questions and I'm looking for somebody to help. Reach out to us, because that's what we're here for. We had to do the same thing. I had to do it numerous times with tons of different people. I'll call it my team now, but I have 3 or 4 phone calls that I can make that someone will pick up and say, "You need to do this in this rehab project or you're going to really be hurting later." So I think it's that whole motto, and I had to look it up while Jeff was talking about it because he was nailing it. But if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together, and just trust that people are there for you, and don't be afraid to reach out with a very open and humble approach and just say, "Here's where I'm at, and I'm just looking for somebody to give me some guidance."
I love that. And first of all, you've all introduced me to a new term today, house hacking. I'd never heard that before. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But I also love what you're saying about your team. And that's not people that are your employees or whatever, but that team of people that you're gathering around you to help you move forward, that collaborative team. Alex, let's hear what you've got to say on this.
You hit it right on the nail on the head, Regina. I was just going to say team and finding like-minded individuals around you to team up with, collaborate
Yeah.
with, right? I mean, we all have different experiences, right? We come from different cloths, let's say, but I think, just finding those individuals that want to achieve what you want to achieve, right? And having that like-mindedness, doing the things day in and day out, that are accomplishing that, and then there's unlimited resources out there nowadays with the internet, with social media, with networking, with LinkedIn here, that the platform that we're on. So it's just there's such a great way to find different people that's share the similar vision.
So if I don't know how to go about that, if I don't have any clue, I want to get involved in this, I want to learn more, I want to find my team, what's the first step I take, Alex? What do I, like you mentioned those resources, but I don't know what to do to find those people. Okay.
Sure.
Walk me
Yeah.
through what people would do, how they would actually start to build that team and reach out to people.
Yeah, I think it's just being humble, right? Sharing, hey, I'm vulnerable, right? I don't know everything. I'm interested in this, right? Whether it's real estate, just protecting my family, right? Making sure everything's okay, peace of mind, and just seeking answers, seeking the professionals, or if not, an introduction, right? Just who is that individual in your family tree or circle, right, that has done it, and hey, I want to kind of just piggyback or mentor off, become a mentee of that
Excellent.
person. So I think it's just finding those people, first degree of separation first, then it becomes second, third, fourth,
Yep.
and I think that's just the way I remember myself doing it.
Jeff, I can tell you've got something to add there. Please.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just piggybacking off what everybody just said. Yeah, teamwork, collaboration. Just make sure you have a team. It truly takes a team to achieve the dream ultimately.
I got something
Gosh,
for those people that have
please.
no idea, and you're
Yeah.
not in Illinois or you're not around where we are. Two things if you want to get into real estate, if that's what you're talking about, right? Would be find a local real estate office that you like, whether it be a brand you know or just a nationwide one, which there are plenty. Go in and ask for the managing broker. That means they're the head honcho or she honcho of the office, and tell them that I want to get into real estate. Which agent, if not you, can you connect me with to discuss what that may look like for me? That would be my first step. Like if you don't, if
Excellent.
you can't get to us or wherever you live, forgive me if I'm wrong. Again, I come from a big metropolitan city. I assume that Justin, you might be able to answer this. Are there I almost said board members, like community meetings? I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Where everyone in the town gets together, right? So they're there to network. What's wrong with me?
Chambers
Chamber of
do a lot
Commerce.
of that.
Chamber.
Thank you.
Chambers.
See,
Yeah.
see, team, right here,
Team,
right here. This is a perfect example
absolutely.
how we work together. So
There
do
you
all
go.
do all,
Yeah.
do all communities have that, or is it just like
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much,
okay?
yeah.
So
You
go
might have to
there.
drive 15 minutes to the bigger city, which is
Yeah.
maybe 5,000 people instead of 400. But yeah, they have
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So my point is, if you really want to get into it, you'll make the effort to drive 45 minutes to an hour. Go into a meeting like that. You're going to meet people in the community, and I guarantee one or two of those individuals may be a plumber, electrician, a builder, a realtor, and that will be your I guess tipping point to start unloading questions on these individuals. And who knows? Maybe they're your investor. Maybe they're your partner. Maybe that's how you build your team. But those would be my like kickoff points. If you have nobody, those would be
Yeah.
the two places I would go.
I would also say that if you're just trying to learn on your own too, and you don't feel like you have people yet, but you're trying to figure out terminology to even approach the conversation, Bigger
Right.
Pockets is always a great resource for new people that are just getting started. They have a lot of videos, they have a lot of content. I think it's just a real easy way to get some of the lingo down. But again, you can't watch Bigger Pockets and then expect to just go out and start being successful in real estate. You have to have the team.
So Bigger Pockets is what? It's
It's a website.
website.
And they
Okay.
they do podcasts and stuff as well. But
Okay.
it's more so. I mean, you can just get a few terminologies down to try
Excellent.
and at least broach the conversation with people when you're out and about at these meetings or you could. I would even stop and talk to people on job sites in small towns. You never know. Like I've been one of the people working on those job sites, and you'd be surprised at who those people know or what information they can give you as well.
It's awesome.
Excellent. Alex, did you have something to add?
No, I think it's just the theme of today is collaboration, right? Like
Right.
just asking questions. I think listening, but asking questions and observing, right? We're observing, okay, who is doing it, right? Who is who's one step or two steps ahead of me, but at the same time, right, who's that individual that's one step or two steps back, and we got to give back and help. So there's an old story in Mexico. I don't want to get too cultural, but it's the story of the lobsters, right? The crabs, right? So it's one guy pulling each other up, the other guy's going to pull the other one up. So it's just continuing that story and that theme of collaborative efforts and helping one another, and then just really becomes a sense of community where there is synergy that begins to transpire. So
Excellent. Excellent. Jeff, further thoughts on that?
No further thoughts on my end.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So, what have been some of the, and you've shared some of this indirectly, but what have been some of the greatest rewards that you've gotten from collaboration?
Yeah, I would say greatest rewards. For me, basically at some point, I almost let go of my own company in 2018 when I was burnt out, working 100 hours a week plus, and it was just very, very tiring. And so, luckily, I met a business coach who is still my business coach, life and business coach to this day. And yeah, pretty much showed me the ropes. Basically, helped me avoid mistakes that I would have made 20 years from now, and ultimately was able to show me different things, show me different ways, better ways of doing things, because he's been there, done that. And so collaborating with him allowed me to see a clearer vision, allowed me to work less, but still achieve more. And also building a team, right? We said it takes a team to achieve the dream. And so
Yeah.
learning how to better collaborate with the team, learning how to better relate to the team. So for me, one example that I can have when it comes to collaboration and benefiting is having a business coach that I collaborated with to keep my company alive and, keep myself, abundant, living an abundant lifestyle ultimately.
Excellent. Follow-up question on that. Was your coach experienced in the field that you were in or experienced in business?
I'm more so experienced in business, not my specific field, but have worked with companies that were in related industries. And so,
Gotcha.
yeah, very high business acumen. Work with the likes of some of the Amazon companies that you see today, right? So, I mean, these are pretty heavy hitters overall. But overall, he's been able to help me tremendously. And now we have a whole. Basically, they have a team of people that help, in different aspects of life and business as well.
Excellent. That outside perspective is so important, isn't it, gentlemen?
1000%.
Yeah.
Just learn from somebody else. Try not to make your own mistakes if you can learn from someone else, right?
Amen.
Well, mistakes in our business, if you want to get into the real estate business, let's call it, are usually pretty costly.
Yeah, I can imagine that's true.
Yeah. The simple as fixing a plumbing issue that you think you can handle, and if you can, if water starts going everywhere, water is the bane of all existence. It will get everywhere and destroy anything, right? So yeah. Again, you're talking about collaboration. It doesn't always have to be about real estate. I would definitely, again,
Exactly.
there's so much out there. Go online, start listening to podcasts, start going onto YouTube, start asking the questions. I mean, with AI, it's kind of crazy now. You can literally type in what you want and then figure out what you should be putting into YouTube or to TikTok or wherever you're going to get your so-called news. Just make sure you ask a professional locally after you get this information to make sure it's real or it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Justin, how about you?
I had a thought when Jeff was talking, but it was more so around. I think I lost it. I'm sorry. I got Josh was talking and he was so good, so he lost it.
Rewards from collaboration. What are some of the greatest rewards you've had from collaboration?
Oh, I think friendships. Lifelong friendships. That was what it was.
Yeah.
So you got lifelong friendships that you develop from collaborating with these people because you're kind of going through the same thing. Obviously, we're all trying to figure out life, but we kind of forget that everybody has their own struggles and everybody's dealing with something different. And through collaboration, not only are people there for you, you're also there for other people. And I think that creates a really strong bond, whether they're in your industry or not in your industry. But sometimes, like Jeff said, you can really benefit from having someone who's outside your industry to give you that different perspective. So I think it's, I've always heard a saying, eagles soar with eagles. So I think who you surround yourself with is very important. And I also think that, through that bond of going through life together, the struggle, you'll create some really good long-term friendships.
Excellent. Alex?
Yeah, I think I love what Josh said is not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Not trying to seek out your own mistakes. I know we're sometimes stubborn and speaking from own experience, right? There's a lot of mistakes I've made, And going way back, I know I look young, but it's like I'm in my 40s, and it's like 20 years of like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, right, that man should have done differently. But you can't change the past, you can just learn from it. And I think
Yeah.
like they say, it's like, you make a mistake, it's not a mistake, it's just a lesson. um but yeah, just surround yourself with people that care about you, and also that everyone has a voice, right? Everyone has something to say and to share, and just kind of speak up, I guess. So yep.
Very good. Very good. One of the things that I've really enjoyed hearing you all talk about, and when it comes to collaboration, is that it's not all about what can I get out of this collaboration, but what can I also give? How do I help the next guy? How do I help somebody else along? And I love that you
And
all come at it from that perspective. Joshua, what were you going to
it's
say?
the only way it works.
It is the only
Um,
way it works. Yes.
yeah, in life, it's real easy, and you don't want to be this person. There's three type of, if you will, networkers. There's the givers, there's the takers, and the equalizers, right? The takers are easy to spot. I don't care who you are when you're watching this. If you keep going to enough chamber meetings, you will see the giver, the takers, and the equalizers, right? And so, definitely always want to come with how can you help someone else, right? How can you aid
Exactly.
somebody in their journey?
Yeah.
And it may be you asking those questions. You're helping them remember all the things that they went through, and maybe you asking a question and they're like, oh, I never thought about that. You should probably ask my friend Joe. And there's the other connection.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
from there.
Absolutely. Love it. Any final thoughts on this topic that they'd like to put in? If not, we're going to move into our wrap-up round, where Jeff is going to call on each of you for your final thoughts on collaboration and your contact information. And Jeff, we want to be sure we get yours as well. Okay. So
For sure.
please take it away, Jeff.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, no, thank you, Regina, for having us and setting up this collaboration conversations. Definitely appreciate that. And yeah, let's go into final thoughts and also contact information. And let's start with Alex. What are your final thoughts? And also, anything you want to share so that people can get a hold of you?
Yeah, no, this has been great, Jeff. Thanks for putting it together and reaching out. And I know we've known each other for a few years, but this is really great. And I would really wanted to say I appreciate everyone on this call, and at the same time, just for people listening out there, right? What are things of I try to so I have a 5-year-old son, and I'm teaching him the lessons of gratitude, right? So we every
Mm.
evening we're reflecting on the day, and as tough as life could be, and we're trying to do things right, just center back and speak out into the universe what we're grateful for. So that's a lesson that I'm sharing for him, and I would like to speak that here, that I'm grateful for all you and having me on. um but yes, I could easily be reached. I have a YouTube channel. It's at Serene Financial Group. So I'd love to put just content on there, and conceptual education on topics. And then also, I'll make it really easy. All my channels are on my Linktree. So it's Linktree at Serene Financial Group. And you can find me there as well.
Sounds good. Thank you for that, Alex. Appreciate that. What about you, Josh?
Whew. Yeah, first of all, I'll second that, Alex, that I agree. This is awesome. I wish I had stuff like this when I was going through everything I've gone through and all my wants and needs, to go through it. You can find me easy as this YouTube channel, Buzzer Real Estate, like you're buzzing into an apartment. So that's easy. My email, all spelled out, josh@buzzerrealestate.com. Two easiest ways to find me. So feel free to reach out, ask questions, here to help.
All right. Thank you for that, Josh. Appreciate that. And then let's go to Justin. Final thoughts as well as contact information, please.
Yeah, thank you all for joining. It was great to collaborate with you. And Regina, thank you so much for putting this together. Jeff, as always, very, very grateful, always. So this has been fun. You can reach me on my email. It's justin@235insurance.com. I'm also going to give my cell phone, so be careful. 312-219-4419. Feel free to call, text me. I don't mind. And then if you have a property that you're trying to just get a quick insurance quote, you can always go to 235insurance.com and just submit some details, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours.
Amen to that. Thank you for that, Justin. Appreciate that. And then I'll just give my final thoughts before passing it back to Regina. So yeah, definitely appreciate the conversation today. You know, I thought it was great, and it just shows the power of teamwork, right? We had to step in a few times to assist a few of our fellow, team members in even like words, right? Just different finishing certain sentences, just being able to collaborate. Some collaboration comes in all different ways. And I found that when I usually collaborate with others, the right people, right? Of course, you don't want to collaborate with the wrong people, but the right collaborations usually leads to better results, usually leads to more efficiencies and ultimately more effectiveness. And so, everybody on this, on this call today is very talented. I know I've worked, personally with pretty much everybody here. And so, with that being said, I appreciate everybody for joining, everybody for tuning in. My contact information, for those that are more on the digital, you can go to our website, Badu, B-A-D-U, taxservices.com. That's Badu, B-A-D-U, taxservices.com for anybody who's looking for tax services, saving money on taxes. Shout out to the tax reform that just came out a few weeks ago. And then also for those who are more of a phone, you can call at 773-819-5675. That's 773-819-5675. Let us know how we can assist you. You can also reach out to me as well, and would love to help, would love to collaborate. And it truly takes a team to achieve the dream. And so I'll pass it back to Regina on that note.
Awesome. Thank you. And for all of our listeners out there, we'll make sure that their contact information is showing up on the platform where you've watched this, so that you'll be able to reach them no matter which platform you're watching it on, whether that's LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to have you all here on the show today. It's been wonderful. I appreciate it so much. Great getting to know you and finding other great collaborators in the world. It always warms my heart to find others who are as eager about collaboration as I am. And with that, we'll wrap it up. Folks, we'll see you next time on Collaboration Conversations. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.
Take care.
Thank you.